Starting today, everyone talking about this, the big news coming out of last night's Oscars, and sadly for him, Will Smith winning his first Academy Award isn't what everybody's talking about. Instead, it's that shocking moment when he stormed on stage and slapped presenter Chris Rock. This is after Chris Rock made a joke about Will's wife, Jada. Oh, so much to discuss here. There's so many nuances with this. Reactions, I've been looking at social media today, very mixed. What did you think, Katie? I mean, the audience, everybody looked awkward and shocked and almost like nobody really knew what to do.
Yeah.
Like, is this really happening? Oh, that did really happen.
I find it quite shocking to watch it. And I think, first of all, I just want to say displays of violence never translate to showing how much you love somebody, and I think that's a really dangerous area to say, I'm jealous and I hit someone for you because I love you, or I hit you because I love you, and I just think that's a really bad example to set to anybody. But equally, the joke was of terrible taste because Jada lives with alopecia. It's a disease. She cannot change her appearance, and we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and Will could have spent years and years helping her feel ready to step out to events like that, looking visibly different. And one of the biggest reassurances you would give your partner is that nobody's staring, you look OK, it's fine, nobody would make fun of you. And that's exactly what Chris Rock did. And there's no place for that kind of joke in 2022, so...
I think she has been very open about her alopecia, so I would assume...
Yeah.
That Chris Rock knew that she had alopecia, therefore, excuse me, a joke in bad taste, very bad taste.
I mean, this kind of Chris Rock going back in history, you know, this has happened before, where, you know, Jada made a stand and she was like, you know, she boycotted the awards before because she felt like there wasn't enough inclusion within the awards themselves, and Chris called her out at that point. So this is historical, and I think that this is a couple, a massive power couple that have been through a lot. You know, they've been through a lot of highs and lows with Jada's, you know, sort of round table conversations that she has. So we know a lot about the family, we know a lot about their backgrounds and how they've got to where they are. And up until today, Will Smith has had a flawless card, you know, like flawless reputation up until today. And he has said himself that he feels like he's carrying this weight of being responsible, of being upright, forthright, you know, doing all of the right things at the right time. And yes, this is such a great shame that his one moment that he's waited his entire career to actually win the award. Some say he should have got it for Pursuit of Happiness. Some say he should have got it for Ali, and this was his moment. And now it's been tarnished by this incident. I know.
Forever.
And it'll be historical forever, you know, and that's a really great shame.
I think there's nobody today who's going to be sitting there more thinking to themselves as much as Will Smith is today, going, oh, it was a reaction, and that's the problem with reaction of the moment out of anger. If he could have just thought, I'll get him later in my speech. He is an intelligent, beautifully spoken man, and he's a lovely man. You know, we've met him on this show, and he's been fun. And I've never met anyone that hasn't said that Will Smith is the loveliest guy, whether you work in, you know, 9 to 5 or celebrities, always come across lovely. And I think it's a shame because he could have got Chris Rock back in a fantastic speech.
He lost the ability to control
But he lost the ability
physically.
in that moment because you do say what you want. It's like all of us. You say what you want about us, but attack our family and the people we love, you turn into a lioness. I know I do. And he turned into a lion.
But that, you still can't...
I'm not
that you are condoning,
I'm absolutely
but I said,
not condoning what he did.
Yeah, it doesn't condone.
But no
I
one
just
will
felt
regret
him.
it
I
more
thought,
than
you
him.
see, the red mist has come down. But it doesn't take away that that's an act of violence. If that had been a female host, I mean, you know, probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But then there's that element of it's OK for men to square up to each other in defence of a woman, which is quite an old-fashioned notion.
And if you grew up in a violent house and you were just watching the Oscars with your popcorn, you know, having a nice night, and that suddenly comes on so out of place, like, that's very triggering for a lot of people to see that happen.
Yeah, I don't think any of us can sit here or would sit here and condone what he did and said, well, I understand it. No one will condone it, and he won't be at home condoning it.
Well, he apologised, didn't he?
He won't be condoning it. And like you said, it's a shame.
He did. He apologised to the Academy, and he apologised to his fellow nominees. He didn't apologise to Chris Rock in that speech.
Well, he probably doesn't want to.
He probably doesn't want to
It's a
hear that
distasteful
now.
joke, though.
Yeah,
it's not appropriate.
There is a lot of comment online of people saying, why was he not removed? That was that's personal assault. It's physical assault. So as soon as he'd done that, he went back to his seat where he stayed, he collected his Oscar, where maybe in other circumstances he would have been, or that person would have been escorted
Although
off
I
the
think
premises.
they're pretty. I know what you're saying, but I think they also know with Will Smith, he wasn't going to get up and do it again. It wasn't going to turn into a free-for-all. It was a moment. Do they wreck the whole evening, the biggest evening in the calendar?
Was it scripted? You know, some of the security guards might have thought, well, he's an actor. Is this scripted? So I think people might have been very confused.
I think that's why people were shocked, because when he came down, it was almost like, was he meant to do it? Have they done that between them?
Yeah.
Or,
I thought until he came back to his seat, because as he walked away, he had that bit of a swagger, and I thought, oh, they've done some comedy slapping routine.
Yeah.
But when he sat down and then said, don't use my... Well, I can't say what he said. Take those words, my wife, out of your mouth. Then I thought, oh, no, this is not a routine. This is not
I think,
a joke.
as with all comedians, Chris has got to... There's a line in comedy, and it's a very fine one, and it's always evolving and it's always changing, because things that were acceptable 10 years ago are now no longer acceptable. And there was a line and he crossed it. And for Will, that split second, that moment, it was like, no, that's enough now.
But surely also when you write, all of us do, you know, we do speeches, we do scripts, and you often have people around you who say, what do you think of this? Do you think this is good? Surely people around him would have said, that's totally inappropriate, you know? Surely he would have thought
Unless it
that
was an
himself.
off-the-cuff remark that he... And, you know, I'm assuming he knew that she had alopecia, but maybe he didn't. If you give him the benefit of the doubt and say he didn't, he spotted her in the crowd, and maybe it was an off-the-cuff remark that he thought was amusing, as in the G.I. Jane, not knowing that it was because of alopecia. She's lost her hair, so...
I also...
But speaking as a woman who has lost her hair twice, it takes a heck of a lot of confidence and, you know, support from around you to go to an event, especially one like that. And to embrace herself, which she has done by shaving the head itself, is really a difficult process. And she's done that and embraced it and tried to embolden herself. And then being called out centre front like that, I can't even begin to imagine.
It'd be interesting to know how she feels about what happened.
Yeah, I would think she will talk about it, I think.
Yeah, because she talks very openly about a lot of stuff, doesn't she? Did she see that as justified?
Yeah.
You know, how she feels... Is she going to stand... Well, I'm sure she will stand by him. And it seemed like people in that room didn't know what to do or say or how to respond. And a lot of them have not made passed comment on it yet.
Well, we'll see.
So, we will see. You know, I suppose we've still got to say congratulations to him on that Oscar. You know, his first one in a very, very long career. It's such a shame that it's been tainted as it has, and I'm sure it won't be the last we hear about that.